The universe was like, no, you've asked for something and I'm gonna give it to you. Whether you want it anymore or not, you're getting this manifestation. Hey, welcome to or welcome back to templeofsunshine.com and Temple of Sunshine on YouTube. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I manifested my dream job at quite a young age. I just want to add a disclaimer that at the time it was my dream job and I still love it. I'm still doing the job. It is my absolute dream in terms of where I am in my career today. But at the time, completely my dream job, and it still is in terms of what kind of job I could be doing in terms of my career where I am today. So let's get straight into it. So how did I do it? How did I manifest my dream job? I want to tell you this story so that you can do it for yourself. So maybe it's good to just go and get a notepad and a pen right now and write down maybe some notes while I'm speaking. I'm not trying to make it out that I'm spewing out these words of wisdom that everybody needs to be making notes on like a lecture, but I know that when I was manifesting a lot of things like this dream job in the past, I would watch other sources of inspiration and take notes, and that definitely helped me. In any sort of manifestation process, you need to decide what you want first. Like step one is actually knowing what you want. So I know you want a dream job, whether that's in journalism or marketing or in like a culinary career, or you're a model, I don't know, any career that you're in. I understand that you know what your dream job looks like in terms of the visuals in your mind, but what does it actually look like in a day-to-day perspective? You know, where is your office? Or is it a remote working position? Is it a work from home kind of thing? How flexible are the hours? How long does it take you to commute there? What is your boss like? What are your colleagues like? What is the work culture? Is it quite flexible? Can you leave whenever you want and come in whenever you want? Or are you more of a person who loves the structure of 9 to 5? Or are you someone who likes to stay back late? These are the mundane things that you should be thinking about, because although they're not really exciting and they're not the sort of main things that we think about, like salary, company name, and probably position, like I know we all have an idea of how much we want to get paid, what the job role should say on like our sort of profile card or business card, and you know, what company we'd like to work at. And some of you perhaps don't have a company you'd want, like a specific company you want to work at, but you know what kind of level of company, how big or established this company is. We all know those three things that we want out of a job, but we need to get very, very, very specific with the universe. So now I want you to pause and think about, where is the office, or is it remote? Do you have your own little office? What are your colleagues like? What's your boss like? Everything I listed just now. Go think about it. So for me, I just want to give you a background on what I was doing before this job. So I worked at a consultancy firm where I was a complete nervous wreck because the atmosphere there was a bit nerve-wracking, and they kind of like to keep it that way because when you have your employees scared, they're very much under your control. So I was always a bit scared to dream big, and I always felt like my destiny was sort of determined by what were the sort of contracts coming up. So when I say contracts, if you're a consultant and you join different clients to go out on client site, when you come back after your contract ends with a client, it's sort of like, you know, it's kind of like picking something out of a bag in terms of luck or probability of what roles might be there. So let's say I wanted to be at a specific client, I might not be there because a role wasn't around at the time when I returned back to my company after a project. But I'm not going to bore you with all that. But I had a lot of dream clients, I had a lot of dream companies I wanted to work at. I knew the salary that I wanted to be paid because I had done a lot of research in terms of people who left my company and what they went on to do. So I was on a graduate scheme and I was being paid fairly well for a graduate scheme, and I wanted to level up a lot, actually 15k to 20k more than I was getting at the time. That is how high I set my sights, because I knew it was achievable and I knew people were doing it. And that's really key. This is probably something you want to note down. In terms of salary, I want you to put down something that's really exciting, amazing, a huge step up for you, but also is achievable. It has to be achievable, because if it's not something that your brain can comprehend as a reality, a possible reality, then it's going to be very hard to manifest something that you don't believe can happen. Make sure you're trying to manifest something that you have convinced yourself can happen. Now, absolutely, you can go off being on 20k a year to $1 million. That is a manifestation that is possible, but does your brain believe it can happen? That is what you need to look out for when you're setting your sights on salary. But anyway, back to sort of what my criteria was. It needed to be easily commutable from my house. I didn't want a very long commute because I'm not a morning person. I needed it to be flexible with hours because I don't always get in at 9 a.m. sharp. I am, like I said, not a morning person, but I am an afternoon to evening person. So I like to stay back late in the office when people are leaving because it's quiet, and it's just when my brain works the best, and that works for me. But a lot of employers don't understand that. I wanted a really good manager because I had experiences with really terrible bosses, so it was very imperative to me that my manager respected me, wanted to see me grow, but also really liked me. I know you shouldn't worry about how much people like you, it shouldn't be something that you're preoccupied with, but it was very important to me that my manager liked me as a person and I liked them. Another thing was I wanted to work at a company that inspired me, with inspiring people in, and I just wanted to be somewhere with an easy, relaxed vibe where I felt happy. I wanted to enjoy the job. I wanted a lot of responsibility. So I had lots of criteria, and that's good because I was very, very specific. And this came about from having roles where I wasn't very happy. So if you are in a role where you're not very happy, let's take a moment to be grateful for a few things, right? Let's do it together. Although I'm happy in my role, let's be grateful that you have a job, especially if you're watching this during the pandemic, which you will be because it's filmed in 2021. Be thankful for having a job. And if you don't, just be thankful that you have had previous employment to put on your CV, or resume, as some of you call it. Also be thankful that even though you dislike your job today, it is teaching you everything you don't want. To know what you do want, it's very important to also know what you don't want. It is very key to also figure out, hey, this is what I don't like, this is what I don't want, this is what I don't want to experience again. And you can find the opposites of that, or if you can find a better situation and put that down as your do wants. So that's a very important thing when you're looking at the specifics of this job that you're trying to manifest. Okay, so I was in my current role, and every day sort of I take a little break, and the first thing I started to do to manifest my new job was to really put the intention out there of I want this job. I got down all the specifics of salary and everything we've just spoken about, and I started to put it down on paper. So I started to script to manifest my desires, and guys, this is my favorite way of manifesting. This is the one thing I use to manifest easily, effortlessly, and I've manifested huge things through scripting. Now, there are millions of manifesting methods out there, and they are all great and they all work, but they don't all work for everyone. And that's not because they don't work for you because you're not doing it correctly or whatever. It's just that with some methods we have more resistance, with some methods we have less resistance. So for me, writing something down in like a trance of just writing and enjoying the process of writing it down, literally writing down my manifestation, works for me 100%. So if you don't know what scripting is, I'm going to add a card here so you can go check out my scripting video and you can script with me step by step. But essentially it's just writing down what you want to manifest, but you're writing down as if it is already manifested. So I would literally sit there and write, I'm so grateful that I have this role at my new company where I get on with my boss really well, my colleagues are amazing, and I would write down sort of a day in the life of what I do. So I sort of wrote down that I lead meetings in the morning with my development team, and I get paid this amount. And then I even talked about very mundane things of like, my commute is only 25 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, under 30 minutes. It's so easy to get to work. I get to come in sort of whenever I want and everyone's very easy with it. I would literally write down as if it's happened. So I'd pretend it was the day in my life and it had already manifested. But like I said, go check out the scripting video. It'll make so much more sense. So I started to script and script and script. I would script every single day. And let's look at timelines. This was July 2019. Okay, so it was July 2019 that I started to script. Then I started to apply to so many roles on LinkedIn. So here comes where I wasn't doing manifestation well, right? So I would apply to so many roles on LinkedIn, and there were some employers there where I thought, wow, this would be amazing on my CV. But was it my dream to be there? Maybe not, but I was like, this is the kind of stuff I want on my CV. This is the kind of roles that I want. And they would end up in a dead end. They either wouldn't get back to me, or they'd get back to me and they'd leave me hanging. And I was really struggling, and I was starting to lose my patience, and I was starting to lose my faith. And this happens in manifestation, right? It happens, but this is the time where even through the toughest times, you keep going. You keep saying, no, I trust the universe. I trust that if I've asked something, surely it will happen. It is going to be delivered to me. It is the law of attraction. It is the law of the universe. There is no possible way that this cannot happen to me if I've asked for it with positive and genuine intention. So I kept going. I kept scripting, and I started to shoehorn sort of my requirements even further. I started to really think about things that I wanted, because these roles that I applied for sort of being sort of amazed by the company name. So I started to really think about, is it the company name I want? Is that really what's going to make me happy every day? Is it that if I get this role and I go into the office every day and I'm miserable, is the company name going to make me happy? No. So I further sort of really got deeper into my requirements. Then I finished my project on the company that I was at, and this is August now, okay, so July, August, it's only been sort of a month, but to me it's felt like 10 years. So it's August and I'm working from home, 2019, because I am not assigned to a client right now. No, sorry, I was working from home because I was assigned to a client really quickly, and it was my dream client. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna scrap this whole idea of manifesting this new job away from my current company, because I've already achieved my dream job. But really, I knew that wasn't true, because it didn't fit my very long list of very specific criteria. It did not. It fitted sort of the company name and career progression, but it didn't really hit the salary goal, and it was still staying at this company that I didn't like and was very bad vibes. But I was very happy because I'd always wanted to work at this company that was going to be my client, and I could have gone permanent there. So I was being hopeful, and I thought, hey, you know what? I've managed it through my company, and I was trying to take the easy way out of my manifestation, and I was trying to tell the universe that it's okay, don't worry, I got it. But the universe was like, no, you've asked for something and I'm gonna give it to you whether you want it anymore or not. You're getting this manifestation. So I just want to tell you that the universe will give you options, but it's up to you to really stay true to what you want to manifest. So what happened? So I was working from home, waiting to be enrolled into this new client, and they were taking ages. In the end, they took 6 weeks to get me a pass and security check me. Like, honestly, it took so long. So I was at home for a good 6 weeks. A recruiter contacted me about this company that I'd never heard of but sounded good, and he told me, look, you're a great fit, I found you on LinkedIn, how about you just do a telephone interview? And I thought, hey, you know, what could be so terrible if I did the telephone interview? And I told the recruiter, look, I'm on this graduate scheme till November. It is currently August. I won't be able to start till November. Think about this. This is a very key part of the video and the story, so remember this. And he said, don't worry, just attend the interview and let's see what happens. So I attended the first sort of interview. It was on Teams, and it was great. Like, my future manager was on there with another lovely lady, and I was so excited. After coming off that call, I felt inspired, excited, happy, because my future manager really made me feel that way, and he was so kind and welcoming. And I thought, came off the call and I thought, you know what, this is really nice. But to me, it was just interview practice, and I was a little worried that, you know, I had obviously secured this client. Am I doing something wrong? Am I cheating? It was kind of what was going through my mind. Anyway, so fast forward a few weeks. We're still in August, and I have gone to the second round interview face to face. I've sat with the MD, my future manager, and the current CTO at the time, and I did really well in the interview. And the recruiter calls me back when I'm on a big drive with my mum, and I answer on the Bluetooth, and my mum's like, you know, she's really excited to hear the verdict, and he kind of tells me that they've accepted me and they've accepted the salary offer that I put in, which was 5k more than they were willing to give. So already they were stretching for me. And I said, well, what about November? And he said, look, they're ready to wait for you. And I just thought, what? They're ready to wait for me from August to November? That's a long time. We're gonna, you know, I can't believe they're willing to wait for me. And then I had a big sort of situation thinking about, what do I do now? Which route do I take? Which I discussed in another video, so I'm not going to get into it. Basically, the answer is always within you. Go check that video out. I really delve into this dilemma there, and I ended up taking that role because, well, the role that I was offered by the recruiter. And I'm so happy now because, let me tell you, it ticked off every single thing on the list of criteria that I had and more. So it's less than 30 minutes on one singular train, no tube, no changes, to the office from my house. I had an amazing manager who left, unfortunately, but the person that replaced him was great too. Really amazing colleagues, so much responsibility, such a good role, the salary that I wanted. Honestly, everything worked out exactly as I scripted it, perfectly as I scripted it. But other than that, I used to do a few other things to manifest, and I just want to tell you what they are. So I started to do some affirmations specific to the situation. So I started to tell myself I'm really good at my job. Who doesn't want me to work for them? Like, I used to really big myself up. And now obviously, look, I don't 100% believe it because I'm not that self-centered, but I would try and big myself up just to get my confidence up, because I was struggling, especially when I was being rejected by stuff, by places. You know, I had to really get my confidence up. So in the end, I ended up starting in September because sidetrack, but HR were really kind and let me go early. So everything manifested so perfectly, and the new company was super happy to take me on extra early. I'd always tell myself going into an interview that they want me as much as I want them, and I'd also visualize interviews going really well. So I'd visualize some sort of like layout, I'd visualize a desk, because obviously I didn't know what it was going to be like before I got there, and I'd visualize the people asking me questions, things going really well, us flowing in terms of energy between each other, and I'd imagine that once I've left the room, they'd have a little discussion and they'd talk about how great I was. And this all sounds really conceited, but these are the kinds of things that really do help you manifest things. Visualization really helped. Affirmations really helped me. Go shop my affirmation cards, link in description. And of course, scripting absolutely was just perfect for me, because honestly it has manifested amazing things for me, but it was definitely what got me from July, not knowing what I want, getting really stressed about what I want, applying for random lots of roles, but scripting out of like panicking, to August securing my dream role. That was all scripting and affirmations for sure, to like really boost my confidence. And that's exactly what happened. That's how I manifested my dream job. You can do it too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them with me and I'll get back to you in terms of manifesting dream jobs. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like and subscribe and send to a friend or a loved one who might make use of this. For those of you who regularly watch my channel, you will see that I no longer have my disgusting chip gel nails. I can't get into a salon because we're in lockdown again in England, but I've painted over the chips. How gross is that? And now I have these lovely blue nails. But anyway, till next time guys, bye.